Hi, Year 11. So we're back to doing 2 weeks of online learning. So what we've decided to do as a faculty is look at the unseen section of your literature exam. Now, this is worth 20% of your total literature GCSE, and typically students at our school do better on this section than they do on most of the other sections. So it's really worth spending the time concentrating on the work that I'm about to show you, the work that has been set, to make sure that you understand exactly what this question entails. So essentially, this section is all about a poem that you've never seen before, hence the words unseen poetry. You're going to be given one poem that is going to be littered in metaphors, haha, pardon the pun. So you're going to be given a question based on that one poem, and you have to write an analysis based on it, about 3 paragraphs worth of analysis. You are then going to be given a second question with a second poem, and you have to do a comparison between the 2 poems. So I'm just going to take you through some approaches that you're going to be looking at over the next 2 weeks. So first of all, we're just going to concentrate on question 27.1. So this is the big question. You're only going to get one poem for this. And in this question, you have to spend about 35 minutes of the 45 minutes you've been allocated. And you have to unpick the poem for language and meaning. So it says down here, it's worth 24 marks, and you're being marked for AO1 and AO2 on this. So AO1 is the understanding and the different layers of meaning, and the AO2 is the language and structure. Why the writer has done this, or used the word, or used the structure, for what effect? What was the writer's intended effect? Okay, so there is also some little bits and pieces that I've saved to the system as well on how to approach this first question. And as you can see here, there is stage by stage, step by step instructions on how to get through these tasks. Once you've finished this work and you've had a little look at some of the poems, there are some exemplars on the system as well, such as this one. It gives you the overall idea of what it is that you need to be included within your analysis. Now, remember, we do multiple layers of meaning. We embed quotations within those layers of meaning as well. And we do multiple language analysis in addition to that. So, we don't just pick one word out of that quotation. We're going to pick maybe 2 or 3 different words out and talk about the feature, talk about the use of that word, and what the writer intended the effect to be of using that word. Okay, so here's a nice example for you, and then there's some space for you to be able to continue it. When you get even further through the lessons, you'll notice that they start to look a little bit more like the exam papers. So, for example, this question, which is on marriage and symptoms, you'll have the first poem followed by the first question. How does the poet present the speaker's feelings about being in love? It's worth 24 marks. As I've just said, you should be spending about 35 minutes on this question. Once you've finished that, you'll then get a second poem and a second question. So this is 27.2. So this is where you're going to be comparing the first poem to the second poem. Now, you would think, and lots of students mistakenly think, that you would have to spend more time on this question because there's a second poem. So you think, well, it's probably going to take a little bit longer. No. You have to understand that this is only worth 8 marks. 27.1 is worth 24 marks. You have to spend about 35 minutes on 27.1. On this one, the comparison, they are literally looking for 1 paragraph of analysis. It's worth 8 marks. You are to spend about 10 minutes on this question. I cannot stress that enough. So many students in the past, both at our school and at other schools, have really shot themselves in the foot because they haven't taken on the advice given to them by their teacher. You do not need to add contextual information into these analyses either. You are simply being marked for AO1, which is meaning, and AO2, which is language and structure. Have a go through the different tasks that have been set. There's 10 hours worth of work on there. You know that you can contact me either through Show My Homework or through my email. My work email is afairclough@fleetwoodhs.org.uk. It's the same one that you've been emailing me on since the start of year 9. Try and get this work done, because this really could make a difference between getting that grade 4 or between getting that grade 6 and 7. Okay? Good luck, everybody. Take care of yourselves and stay safe.